Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's your girl, Shy Roslyn. And welcome to a new episode of Notes from the Audience. Now, Notes from the Audience is basically me talking about what's going on, whether it's a particular sector or life in general or politics in general, which I don't follow politics as much as I used to. But they're basically my reactions and b- opinions on what's going on. I am not a member of any particular sector floating around on these YouTube streets. I basically tell people what's going on and let them look into things for themselves. I do not provide any legal advice, medical advice, or accounting advice, as in the case of some of these preachers. Um, I don't provide any of that. I simply talk about what's going on and how I see it as simply a member of the audience. Um, I am not a big content creator. I do not have allies. None of that. I am not participating in the chess game. I am watching the chess game, but I'm not participating in the chess game. So, that being said, and also I do not use any clips in these or my YouTube street guide. I really don't feel like getting hit with a copyright. So, anyway, that being said, likes are free, sharing is caring, respectful comments are always welcome, and questions are welcome also. And if I can answer the question, I'll answer it. If I need a little time to research it, I'll do that too. So, anyhow, let us discuss the latest bunch of crash outs. Yo, as some of you probably saw, I did a church sector crash out background video a couple months ago on as part of It Happened One Night. I think it's under It Happened One Night, but you guys will find it. It's basically a breakdown of who the players were and are in this whole supposed church sector thing that's going on, and the crash outs that ensued after the first round. Well, it seems the next round of of lawsuits and crash outs have just happened. Um, Everybody remembers how Bishop T.D. Jakes sued Dwayne Youngblood for defamation. Um, and that whole saga has played out. Y'all, all you guys have to do is like search under T.D. Jakes doing Youngblood, and a whole bunch of videos regarding that whole saga will appear for your perusal. But the very short version was that T.D. Jakes eventually dropped the case. I'm still not sure why, because it was pretty well. The speculation was that it was for him, for his to lose, basically. Dwayne Youngblood had a very um what's the word, had issues with his attorney. His name was Tyrone Blackburn, I think, who was chastised by the judge and fined actually for using AI to generate his entire case. And as I said, y'all, all y'all have to do is type in TD Jakes, Dwayne Youngblood, and that whole thing will come up for you. that that case was basically covered blow by blow by several content creators. So y'all look it up, see for yourself. So there was a whole crash out. apparently, over that whole thing. And things sort of settled down for a while. Archbishop Jordan decided to have a content creators collective, invited a few content creators to Orlando. That was a whole big discussion. Some folks, including myself at the time, questioned whether this was a gentrification of content creators, trying to get them to kind of present a certain narrative, yada, yada, yada. And that seemed to have, that little crash out came and went. And then there was the whole thing with certain people, well, I'll just say it, with King Jives, apparently, allegedly, I don't know how that went, asking for a loan of a certain amount, was turned down, got upset, left the collective. And then a few weeks ago, he collaborated with William McRae. So who knows how that whole thing is going. So that's how it was for a while. There was the Thanos team, and then there was I'll call him Batman for fun purposes. Archbishop Jordan was Batman, so he had the Justice League. And then we had Thanos with his team, however you want to call them. And I am using comic book names because I'm a blurred black nerd, and it's just fun for me, y'all, because again, I'm just a member of the audience. I don't know all the ins and outs. I don't know all the history. I'm just speaking as somebody who's literally just watching these videos and going, huh? So I'm going to have some fun with this. So Thanos has his team. Bishop Jordan Batman has the Justice League. And they kind of stayed in their separate corners for a bit from how I perceived it. They stayed in their separate corners for a little bit. And then one day, Captain America, a.k.a. Marcellus McMillan, said in a video that he received this weird email, and it was sent by Thanos. Thanos is Larry Reed, by the way. So Thanos sent this email, and for some reason he says, I don't know why I was included on this. I'm not talking about it. I've got nothing to say about it. This does not feel right. Okay, cool. Good. Go ahead. That's why you are Captain America. So, and that kind of things started to fade away again for a moment or two. The Master of Dark Arts, Conscious TV, he said a few things about it hither and yon. But kind of like, it was kind of half quiet, half like stirring up. Okay, so things were quiet for a little bit. And I noticed, and no one said this yet, but I noticed that Batman and Robin, Bishop Jordan and Vanessa Jordan, hadn't been on. They usually do like a prophecy show via St. James's channel, and for fun purposes, I call St. James Black Panther. I did a whole video on villain. If you go to my heroes versus villains video, and you'll see the origin of the names that I've been giving people for fun. Let's laugh, people. Anyway, so usually Batman and Robin usually appear on Black Panther's channel, and they do like a prophecy show. And I'm not gonna say whether or not it's a good thing to sow a seed for a prophecy. That's an individual decision. I'm not going to get into it. I'm not a theologian. But I did notice that they hadn't done one in a while. It's been, I want to say about a month, maybe a little more than a month. And I was like, hey, that's kind of odd. It's usually about once a month they pop up and they hadn't done one. So I didn't think anything of it. I just put it on the back shelf of my mind. Earl Grey. So I put it on the back shelf of my mind. I didn't think anything of it because usually those are the episodes I usually don't watch. So I left, just shelved it for future reference. Well, this week, Archbishop Jordan filed a lawsuit against 9 content creators. And the documents are available on Pacer. You can go and look them up. You'll find it. It's very easy to find. I do have the document. If I have a moment, I'll post the case number. I'll make it a pinned comment just to make it easier to find. So y'all can go and look for yourselves. But he filed a lawsuit against 9 content creators wanting, the demand is $10 million each from each of them. Whether that's how it's going to end up, don't know. And as of yesterday, I believe, the 24th, I think the case was moved from New York. It was originally filed in New York, but Bishop Jordan's residence is actually in New Jersey. The New York address is actually for where his ministry studio is. So his true residence is New Jersey. So the case has been moved to New Jersey. That's an administrative thing. They just basically shifted the paperwork. That's not a big thing to go on and on about. However, the crash outs have begun. Mad Church Disease put out a statement. I've heard that the Master of Dark Arts, aka Conscious TV, also said that he had not been served yet, and apparently he's not that concerned about it. Thanos put out a statement saying he feels that it's either going to be dropped or settled. And basically, I've won these kinds of cases before, so he's not concerned either. And some of the other defendants don't necessarily have a channel, but they either work for Thanos or one of them is apparently he's a minister. So that's kind of the basic background of the case. The case is based on the fact that Batman there was some kind of phone call. He claims in the suit that he was first he was recorded without permission, and that's number one. That's, I think, from what I understand of the court documents, that's the big thing, that he was recorded without permission, and apparently he was in one state a two-party state. The other person that recorded him was in a one-party, was in a two-party state. He was in a one-party, whatever. But apparently, whoever was in the two-party state was supposed to get permission from the other person before they recorded. And that was not done. So that is the crux of the complaint. Okay. The other part of the complaint, and I'm speaking in general, go look up the complaint yourself and read it for yourself. But the other general part of the complaint was that that Thanos and his minions conspired to threaten him, saying that they would reveal what was discussed in the phone call, and basically if Batman didn't stop talking about Thanos, they were going to release what was in the phone call. So, amongst other things that have been said in previous crash outs, y'all remember Thanos had that big crash out. He ran to Dubai, went live. It was one crash out was flat out public. The other crash out was behind a paywall. That is also been mentioned in the complaint. So, that's the crux of the complaint. I'm sure that if y'all want more details, like I said, look it up. There's like a ton of videos, and some of them actually, the folks have actually read the documents. So y'all can look it up for yourselves. So, the Penguin, Thais Report, has also been named in the lawsuit. And again, he has also stated that he has not been served with any paperwork yet. So, and basically, folks are starting to lawyer up. And so therefore everyone's being extremely careful what they say, because they don't want to get caught up. There are placeholders in the lawsuit for Jane and John Doe's to be defendants, so everybody's kind of shutting up right now. However, the Penguin had no crash out yesterday. He may have moved it to members only at this point. I caught most of it last night. I was watching the replay. And the Penguin actually said that he basically was trying to read a bunch of people. He went after Uncle Tim, Timothy Blaine. That kind of made me a little perturbed, because Uncle Tim and I are in the same age bracket, and don't mess with you. Don't mess with us baby boomers, because I'm the tail end baby boomer. I'm one of the last of the baby boomers, and Uncle Tim is definitely a baby boomer. Don't mess with us baby boomers. Don't mess with us OGs, man. Just don't. Because we technically have nothing to lose. We have been through it all. So, no, you don't want to get into it with a baby boomer, because we tear you up. We are from the generation that would tear children's asses up in the supermarket and not think twice about it. That's where we come from. So anyway, I digress. I'm sorry. He also talked about some other content creators. He went off on, well, I didn't get to hear that part. He I think he had Sean talks in his sites. I didn't get to hear that part. And he talked about King Jives. I need a name for King Jives, but he talked about him. And there was somebody else he was talking about. It'll come to me. But yeah, so he had a little crash out last night. What the Penguin fails to understand is that that was the other thing I meant to mention. He admitted to going into another person's private live to, as he put it, see what they were saying. So if y'all remember, I talked about this briefly in a previous Notes from the Audience, and I said, why are people paying they're paying to be in other content creators' private groups just for the sake of spying? Well, the Penguin just admitted to it. He spies on other content creators. I really thought he was paying people to join other people's Patreons and stuff, but no, he apparently, for some content creators, he's doing it himself. I need a moment. We're talking about 40, almost 50-year-old people. The money that circulates amongst these content creators must be so good that you're willing to literally spy on another content creator so that you can figure out what they're saying about you, so you can turn around and quote unquote read them and disclose what was said privately. And I am the content creator he was talking about. I'm also a member. I have a membership, so I saw the live that the Penguin was talking about, was revealing. I was in there. I'm just like, what? I am going to watch the rest of the crash out just for the hell of it, but yeah. Worried much? If you're going to go off that badly and reveal things that are said in private communities that badly. Oh, and he referred to the content creator as the unhealed healer. So that on a strictly entertainment level, it was entertaining. But if you think a little deeper, it's not cool. And my original impression of the Penguin was that he was a bully, and that just yesterday's crash out just confirmed it for me. So I am very glad I am not a subscriber. So anyhow, like I said, he's probably moved it to members only anyway, so you're gonna have to pay like $20 to really, if you didn't catch it when it happened, he's probably moved it to members only, and it's probably gonna be like $20 to watch it, which no, it's not worth $20. So yeah. Then everybody's talking about it. everybody's talking about this lawsuit. The one thing about the actual lawsuit itself that kind of made me go, huh? Was how the heck did mad church disease get caught up in this lawsuit? What he say? Because in the lawsuit, the complaint is that Marcellus had videos disparaging Batman's actually they had part of the complaint was that Marcellus participated in this whole conspiracy, like the phone call part, which Marcellus had nothing to do with it, because Marcellus and Captain America and Thanos, they don't get along. They don't talk. Captain America has not mentioned Thanos in months. They don't speak. And the last thing I remember Marcellus saying was that I got this email from Thanos and I don't know why. I don't know where it came from. I want nothing to do with it. So I don't know how Marcellus got caught up in that. That was the number one question. Everybody said, "What, Marcellus? Mad church? What? Mad church disease? Really? Why? How'd that happen?" Everyone's scratching their heads over. Ooh, my hair. Sorry. Everyone's kind of scratching their heads over that one because he and Thanos are like mortal enemies. So how did he get caught up in the lawsuit? Shut up, you. Sorry, my Dexcom glucose monitor just went off. So that was the number one question on everybody's mind. Like, how did he get caught up in this foolishness? Because he didn't say anything. But there is part of, like, when you guys look at the actual lawsuit, it's broken down by, it's like counts, and each count is a defendant. So when you get to the count for mad church disease, it lists like why this person's included in the lawsuit. And one of the things, and I saw this and I started thinking a little bit more. There's one line that says, and I'm paraphrasing because I don't have the paperwork in front of me. There's one line that says that the defendant has referred to or accused, I don't remember the exact word, the ministry of being a false ministry. And another line that says that the defendant accusations have caused a severe financial loss or something to that effect. Like I said, I don't have the paperwork in front of me. 1 second, guys. So, yeah, those two lines kind of caught my attention because I kept looking at it like, it doesn't make sense. Marcellus had nothing to do with that phone call. But when I read those other two lines, I realized, now, Captain America had Bishop Jordan on his show as a guest at one point when the first round of crash outs and the breakup between Batman and Thanos happened. He had him on the platform. Batman was on Marcellus's channel. It's on the platform. And Marcellus still didn't say anything to him. He let Batman speak and say whatever he wanted to say. However, Captain America has been critical of Bishop Jordan's ministry. He has said that, paying for prophecy, that's not right. he has criticized Batman and Robin. So I'm thinking, my thinking, and I could be wrong. Like I said, I don't know these, I don't know these people, but just reading the document and from the videos that I've watched over the months, almost a year now, I think I could be wrong. Somebody tell, if I'm tripping, let me know if I'm tripping. But I think Captain America got included in that lawsuit because he's been very critical of Batman and Robin's ministry. And because like I said, Captain America has always said, I don't deal with Thanos. I don't talk to Thanos. I don't know why they sent me this email. I'm not going to talk about this email. I know nothing about it. I don't want to know nothing about it. I go away. But he has been critical about Batman and Robin's ministry. So y'all think about it. I hate this Dexcom sensor. I hate it with a passion. So I'm just, like I said, I'm reading the document, and it just wasn't clicking why this person was included. So that, hey, like I said, I might be tripping. Just tell me if I'm tripping. Let me know. I don't mind, because like I said, I'm a member of the audience. I'm taking all these people's discussions and crash outs and whatnot. I'm taking them at face value. But that was one part of the lawsuit that just didn't click for me. So who knows? We'll see what happens as time goes on. The rest of the defendants, whatever. Especially the master of the dark arts, he needs to get, well, on face value, yeah, maybe this particular lawsuit might stick. And Thanos, of course, and the rest of them, whatever happens to them happens to them. And the other thing, so now this lawsuit is out and about, and everyone's talking about it, and people have not been served yet. So, but it appears that folks are starting to at least consult an attorney and say, okay, what do I say and whatnot. To put an attorney on retainer is not cheap. That I know for sure. And if it comes to it and they have to start putting people on retainers, that's a lot of money. Uncle Tim said it best yesterday. He said, you think these you think these content creators are begging now. Your channel members are going to be paying your legal fees. He said they're really going to start begging for support now. Uncle Tim said that, and that's why I'm usually with Uncle Tim on these things, because he's been there, done that. He's been through the legal system. He knows what he's talking about. And the other thing that the Penguin said that irked me, he was talking about Uncle Tim, and he basically said that, and I hate that I'm repeating it, but he said that Uncle Tim was probably doing some illegal activities to pay for the artwork that he has in his apartment. And he went into somewhat detail of what he felt Uncle Tim was selling. I'm not going to say it, but doing illegal activity and selling said things to pay for the artwork that's in his apartment. Uncle Tim broadcast from his living room. And not for nothing, but Uncle Tim's apartment always looks clean. And yeah, he has a lot of artwork, but it's not cluttered. Doggy, the little doggy always looks clean, barking and carrying on. And the penguin's trying to make it seem like Uncle Tim's living in a cardboard box. Don't mess with us, baby boomers. Just don't, and it's not gonna end well. It is not gonna end well. Y'all leave Uncle Tim alone. That's all I'm saying. This stupid Dexcom. One more minute, guys. Let me take care of this real quick.